What's up, y'all?
Hey.
It's D.
And it's me, Chills.
This is Postpartum Uncut. This is our safe space to talk about all the things that happen during postpartum, the nitty gritty, the cute, all that good stuff, the whole thing. What we talking about today, Chills?
Whew, that good old hospital stay.
Ooh, the hospital stay. Yep. So the big day. I personally had a very good hospital stay.
Oh, nice.
I did. I was at DePaul. Nice. Shout out to DePaul. Where are you?
I was at Mercy.
About
this
Mercy.
Is St. Louis, just so y'all know where we're talking about these hospitals.
Yes, we're in St. Louis. I hear great things about Mercy. DePaul was really nice too. They had just renovated their maternity wing, and the room was big. It was big, and it was clean, and it was spacious, is what I like. Like a hotel suite, like my bed, medical stuff. And then there was the recliner, which was like close to me, but not too close. Mm-hmm. And that's where Dad was. And then there was the couch by the window in the bathroom. So it was like literally like a little suite. And I appreciated that space.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How was your hospital room? What did that look like?
Well, the first one I went into was, like you said, like the suite, like super big. Like I probably could have fit 50 people in there. But then when I ended up having to have a C-section, I obviously didn't need that space anymore. So they had the C-section that I went into a recovery, I guess, like postpartum room, which was still big, just not as big as that one. Then I got moved to another room. I had 3 different rooms.
Oh, man.
So then I got moved to another room. That room, it was cool. It's like, that was about the same. Like the second and third room was about the same. What I did not like though about my room, I think this is just like, well, I don't know if this is old school or not. I have never seen this before. There's like a little window in my room that like you could like pull, like you could like, it was like on a roller clip, and like nurses could like look in on you to see like, is she asleep? She awake? And like one time I was like pumping, and I was like,
like, bro, my boobie out.
Like, you know how the ICU, we have like a clear glass window. It was like a glass window, but it was like like on a roller shade or something. I don't know. Or I could do it from my side, and they could do it from their side to peek in. But I was just like,
she said, I need real privacy. What is this?
This window. But other than that, everything was really cool. It was just weird because like me and the nurse like made awkward eye contact one time. She like rolled the window down, and I'm like,
I was like that about the nurse change, the shift change. And I be trying to be nice because of her. So like I was sitting there like, don't overreact yet, don't overreact yet, don't overreact. But like, okay, the difference in the daytime shift and the nighttime shift was a little too much for me. The daytime nurse was extra like sweet. And she did this while I got that terrible ass epidural in my back. She just rubbed my shoulder. Mm-hmm. And she was just the sweetest thing ever. And she would check on me. She was obviously busy. Mm-hmm. I do see the difference in staffing. I get that. I understand it. But my experience was too different in the middle of all that labor. And so like she was also like checking on me a lot less because I was chilling. I got induced, so I was just waiting for things to happen. And he kept moving, so like the heart thing kept going on and off. And so like I think they're supposed to check me all the time, but she was just kind of like, he's just being stubborn. I'm like, cool. She was very good. She still checked on me how she was supposed to, but it was way less like trippy. Extra. It was not that super TLC. High vigilant. It wasn't the nighttime shift. The nighttime shift was clearly bored, and there were 6 of them. I'm exaggerating. There were 4, but. And then like the lady that switched over didn't introduce herself. At first she was just looking all mean. But she was in mom nurse mode because we ended up being besties by the end of that. So for me it was just like, this is not how the daytime went. You know my attitude.
For me, I think because I am a night shift nurse and I actually don't like to be bothered, especially when I'm asleep. So like literally, they obviously when you get your blood pressure,
Yes.
and then literally go right back. I don't want you in the room. I'm fine. I'm alive. Cool. So that's how. I mean,
Okay,
granted,
you make me feel better.
this is post baby, so I'm not. I don't know how that felt. Feeling like I need to be monitored more often, but after I had the baby, your blood pressure, da da da.
That's what it looked like, cause the epidural made me numb, so they gotta flip me, and I'm like half dead. So it's like 1, 2, like I was so annoyed because I don't want to be bothered. I just want to have the baby. Like, but I was like, this is stuff we have to talk about with the hospital stay, right? Because you don't really know. You don't think about what that's going to be like. You don't know what you're going to have to deal with.
So I know for you, obviously, even though you pretty much were right at the cusp of your delivery anyway, it still was a couple days before. So you were like, oh my God, I didn't know I was going to do it today. But like after you got into the hospital and checked in and everything, what was like the next step?
Sitting there waiting.
So you got like the monitor on you.
Girl, yes, they strapped me up. Okay, so for everybody's background, I worked my last day. I went in for a doctor's appointment. It was an ultrasound. Baby boy had grew, and then he stopped because he was on his own time. But we don't know. We can't read the baby mind, so we got to do all these checkups. My doctor had this plan, and so this last appointment was supposed to be like to double check and sign off on this plan. And I was gonna have my baby the following week. So
this is like the end of the week.
Yes, this is a Friday. It's 7:30 in the morning, and I'm getting an ultrasound first because they wanted to tell my doctor what they found so he could make his full educated decision. So I do 2 doctor's appointments that day planned, and 7:30 in the morning we do our ultrasound, and we had this favorite nurse, and she comes in and she goes, "You remember all them jokes you was telling about not leaving?" And I was joking because I have so many friends that I can tell you right now that never left a doctor's appointment. They went in for a doctor's appointment and then they were like, "Nah, you having a baby." So I was like, "No, I'm gonna be ready." And I packed my hospital bag for every doctor's appointment. I brought it with me for like that last month because I was like, "Nah, you ain't gonna catch me slipping." And that's exactly what happened that day. I had it in my car. Dad was about to go to work, so he was going to come to the ultrasound appointment and then go to work, and then I was just going to go to my other appointment later because they see each other all the time. They know what's going on. So the ultrasound happens, and they're like, "No, you're not leaving." And I was like, "I'm having a baby today." She's like, "Yeah, somewhere in the next like 48 hours. Yeah, come on, let's go." I'm like, "Let's go." Oh, I guess, yeah. What else do I need to do? I'm just sitting there like, okay. So we're walking down all the corridors and the elevators.
No wheelchair? Like you have to walk?
I walked. Yeah. Because I was getting induced. So
I just feel like that would have been a lot to carry.
It was always a lot to carry.
Down some corridors, like around corners. Like,
yeah, but
the hospital always be long.
They do. And I can't tell you for the life of me how we got there. I wouldn't have known how to find my way back. But I think I think the adrenaline was kind of going because I'm like, I don't know what to expect next. So yeah, when we're talking about what happened next, they're like, yeah, so we'll be in here for you in a minute. I'm like looking around my room, getting acquainted, start getting comfortable. Then they start coming in and it's like, okay, poke, prod, fingers, all day, fingers. Like it's a lot of intrusiveness. But at that point, you should be used to it, right? How many doctor's appointments you have usually? So yeah, hooked up to all these monitors and just sitting and waiting. And I was kind of annoyed at that at first because I was just, like when I'm ready to do something, like let's do it. So I had to wait. I waited. The best part was waiting for my water to break. That was great. That was the best part of giving birth was my water breaking. The minute that happened, I was chilling. I was like, cool, let's have the baby. I'm ready. But like the getting up and peeing every 30 minutes. Like, so every time my nurse came in, I'd be like, we have to do a bathroom every time you come. Because I was hooked up to the IV right? The little thing that wheels with the
Yeah.
yeah. Nurse Chelsea. I would like have to take that to the bathroom with me. Mind you, still pregnant here. Like nothing's happening. Okay, we're just trying to wiggle them out of there. So I like for me it was just a lot of waiting. I was just waiting and watching TV and falling asleep and waking back up and falling asleep and waking back up and falling. And every time I woke up, they was checking me. It was just this very long, repetitive situation.
Yeah.
I was very happy when the lady was finally when my doctor was finally like, "All right, let's go."
Time to push.
No, it was the nurse because I can't feel nothing. So she like all the way in there. She like, "Oh yeah, we ready." I was like, "Word? All right, cool." And I woke up so fast. You know how you sober up real fast? It was like that. I was like, "Okay, go time. Let's go. Get him out." Yeah. Actually, he was asleep.
Oh.
He was asleep. So like he had to work. He has to be at work normally at 7. He's in construction. So y'all know how them days go.
So did he still go to work after the appointment is planned and then came to the hospital?
No. The crazy part is, so we drove separately for that reason, right? We get to the hospital. He gets out of his truck and he's like, well, he gave me the day off.
Nice.
So his boss knew he was pregnant. And so like, well, he knew he was having a baby because I was hella pregnant. Okay. But he knew what was going on a little bit. And so, I think he just gave him the day off. Yeah. It was weird. We didn't know anything yet, but I was pissed because I remember saying, so we could have took one car. Because we took both cars.
That's what you say first?
Yes, because we live very far away from our hospital, y'all. I don't play about I will drive for like knowing what I'm getting, like confidence in who I'm with and all that. Like, yeah, we live 30 minutes away from the hospital. So I was kind of like, he couldn't have told you that like a half hour ago. Like, what? Dang. Like, okay. And then we go in and he calls his boss and he's like, well, yeah, we're having the baby, so I won't be in at work next week either. He's like, all right, cool, congratulations, blah, 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 blah. He falls asleep. My water broke at like 6, but I went into labor. Like, I was in labor all through then until 4 o'clock in the morning. So he was just like, you know what, bro, I'm going to sleep. Wake me when he's here. So when they woke him up, he had, I'm here. So I was kind of worried. I was like, I really need you to be awake. But he pulled it together. He got it together. They gave him enough time. So, I mean, you kind of had similar experience. You went to an appointment and didn't leave.
Went to, it was actually the 3D imaging session.
I love those.
So it was cool. I literally just got to see her. Like the clearest picture I can get without actually seeing her literal face. And we were just, oh yeah, we can't wait to see the baby, not knowing that in my head 24 hours later I really was going to be looking at my baby.
Right.
But yeah, blood pressure was just high during the appointment. And I never left. They were like, yo, we gotta admit you for observation. We gotta, get your pressures down. So I did get wheeled. I guess they didn't want me walking with high blood pressure. So I got wheeled down all the corridors, down the hallway, and they took me to some little unit first that was just literally for observation because they were like, well, maybe by the time we get over there, your pressure will be all right. No. So then that's when I got admitted into L&D. And I was literally in the room, and it was such a rush because I didn't know how bad this can get fast, but they knew that. So literally, as soon as I got up there, the NICU team came and talked to me. I was like, why is the NICU team talking to me? They're like, well, just so you know, worst case scenario, if you have your baby early, we just want to show you or tell you how to prepare, what to expect, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. Then like the critical care team was going to talk to me about XYZ, blah, blah, blah. So it was just like a lot of information getting thrown at me at one time. And I was like, this isn't.
Was your nurse brain like just kind of like, okay, you guys have to tell me this. Check. You didn't kind of realize that it was like.
Because it wasn't bad at that point.
Okay.
It was just literally the blood pressure. Then that was coming down because I was on a drip like the whole time they were talking to me.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. And I was still able to like move around and stuff. I had like a bedside commode. Never used the bedside commode in my life until that day. I was like, it's... So yeah, because the drip, they didn't want me walking too far. So it was just interesting. Like everything was just rushed. I was getting like, last minute like injection. I forgot what the name of that shot is that you get twice during your pregnancy. I can't think of it right now. But I got my second one rushed early because they were like, we don't know what's going to happen and we want to make sure you get the second dose of this. And I was like, okay. Then they, were just getting all like the tests and labs they needed to get just in case something happened. I said, all right, cool. So then, like the next day, I got really sick. And they were like, your platelet count is dropped. We have to take you to an emergency surgery. So I bust out crying and I was like, well, how long do I have? And they were like, oh, this is going to be within the hour. And that's when I'm like trying to call dad, like get down here. My mom's calling like the whole crew, like everybody's like flying out to the hospital. And yeah, it was just a rush. Like people signing, like throwing consents in my face. Like if I need blood during the surgery, consent to, not an ultrasound, but a C-section. It was just like a lot going on. And I'm trying to process all this and I'm signing all this paper. Like I feel like I'm signing my life away or something. I'm like, what is
all the paperwork feels that way
going on? And then it's like an emergency. Like nobody's able to really take their time with me because time is of the essence. Then like anesthesia comes in and talks to me and they're like, this is what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. We're doing this because of that. And then my doctor wasn't even available to deliver my baby. So the other doctor who I had heard of in the office came to the room, told me what was going on, how sick I was. She told me a little bit about the procedure, why they had to put me under and I couldn't be awake during the procedure. And so by this time, it's like literally like 20 people in the room, like all my family. My dad just got to work. He's brother, like literally sleep for work as he works later in the day. Like his mom, everybody just, because my mom was already there, but everybody just came. And like literally, like out of everybody there, like I was so grateful. I was like, where is dad? Like literally, out of everybody being there, like I'm thankful y'all are here, but like where's dad?
Right.
So, but he was in the air,
trying
to get there. So then they wheeled me off to the OR room where they prep you. They had to get I had to put a gown on because I'm still in my street clothes.
Right.
So I had to go put a gown on, take all my clothes off. They put like a bonnet on my head. I remember getting wheeled to the operating room where they put a Foley in me. I had never had a Foley.
Can we, for those who aren't nurses?
Oh, well, so I'm pretty sure you had one too with your epidural, right? You did?
Can you remind me what a Foley is?
Typically during pregnancy, well, okay, first of all, a Foley in general is a tube that gets inserted through your urethra that goes up to your bladder to drain your urine.
That's why I remembered. That's why I remembered the word, because it's crazy.
Anybody can have a Foley. A man can have a Foley. A woman can have a Foley.
Yes, and I did.
And typically for epidurals, because you are numb from the waist down, you can't control anything.
It's wild.
You get a Foley. But I didn't get a Foley, obviously, because I had epidural. I got a Foley because I was under anesthesia. So I remember them inserting the Foley, and it was kind of weird because I was like, my cooch was out, and I was just like, I'm not even pushing. Why are y'all looking at my cooch?
Right.
I'm not even about to do all that.
There's so many things that get hooked up down there. Let's put a pin in this because that is something that you pointed out, a couple of things that I don't think if you're here and you're here for a little bit of insight and education, there's a couple of things that you probably didn't even think about. So I want to circle back to like the actual hospital experience when you finish.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and I didn't realize, I was like, I didn't think about it. Like I know people get Foleys with surgery.
Your nurse brain's like, duh, but like
I guess I didn't think about getting put under for a C-section either. Like that's not normal. That's not what you see in the movies. Like that's not
Right.
what you hear about. That's not what you see in L&D. Like you don't really see that. So I'm like Foley. I was like, and then I'm just laid out across the table, like literally like this. And I'm like, and then they gave me the anesthesia, and the man was like, they started running it, and they're like, count back from 10. And then I woke up, and it's funny too. I do remember seeing my mom in the hallway and her guard sitting in the chair.
I can picture your mama.
And it was funny, like a backstory. Her chair was too tall, so she was like,
for those of y'all that don't know, her mama is not tall.
She's shorter than me. She's like what, 5 foot. So she was like she was holding on to the rail, like trying to.
Oh, mom.
So I saw her in the hallway, like, I need another chair. Give me another chair. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I counted back from 10, and that's all I remember. And then I woke up in recovery. I think from there, pretty much everything was kind of semi-normalish. Like, well, I was on because of the pain from the surgery, I was on something called a PCA pump, which is basically like medicine, like narcotics that you get through the pump. You press the little button every time a dose is available. So I was pretty drugged up, like right after the procedure. And they were checking my pad constantly to make sure like I wasn't passing like large clots.
Yes, that the constant.
Like they would press on your belly and
yes,
like the fundus, whatever they was pressing on.
They have to and then they have to make sure your uterus will contract and will go back to normal. So that it is weird. You birth the baby and there's all this delicateness surrounding your womb, and then all of a sudden you got pushing.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. It's just weird.
And I just wasn't prepared for all that. Like nobody really explained in depth all of that. Like, yeah, I had labor and delivery, but that was like 10 years ago in school.
Right.
Like, that's it. And I didn't go into that, part of nursing. So I'm like, all of this is new.
And then like
to me.
imagine not being a nurse.
Yeah.
Like how different even then that would have been for your experience.
Traumatic.
You know what I mean?
Traumatic.
Like there's some stuff that I feel like I like to ask, do you feel like your nurse background gave you a little bit of a heads up?
Yeah, I think I would have probably spazzed
out. Right.
I wasn't a nurse.
Like, for real. Because just like the word volley, I'm clearly traumatized by it because I was like, I know what that is. What is that?
I try to put that out my mind.
But so a couple things. Something that got thrown at me passive aggressively at work, but not the point, they were still right, was about your doctor may not be the person delivering your baby at the end of the day. So in my head, this was my friend. What are you talking about? Then we found out he had to go on spring break with his kids the week before I was supposed to have my baby. So I was just looking at him like, I know you better be here. But the cool thing was, I had a doctor's appointment the week that he was on spring break. So I saw the original lady that I went to that doctor's office for. So that was cool because she's my friend's doctor. That's how I got there. And then I ended up with my guy. But she ended up seeing me, which was great because she also was the one that was on duty when I was supposed to deliver. My doctor was downstairs. So we talk about me going down the long hallway to labor and delivery. He's in labor and delivery. He's looking at me like, what are you doing? And I'm looking at him like, you ready? He's like, I am jet lagged. I was supposed to look at you today and send you home. What are you doing? And so I looked at him. I was like, so you probably not going? He said, I'm probably not going to deliver your baby. And I was like, okay. Which everybody in the office is cool, but like, there was something really special to me that the lady who had just seen me, so she knows what's going on. She got the most recent information. And I know her. Like, I trust her. I've seen her now twice. So, and she was the original reason I sought out that office. So I feel like I just got lucky. But she was the doctor on duty that day, and she delivered my son, which was really, really cool. But I say all that to say, the doctor that you think you're going to have may not be the doctor you end up with. So I think the idea of writing your birth plan down is very cool for that reason, just in case you want to be clear with people. Like DePaul gave us little pieces of paper that let us write out, like, this is how I want to do this. This is how I want to do this. And so like you have it on paper, just in case you out out cold for a second, and they like, don't say I didn't tell you, so there's things like that. And yes, you're hooked up to a bunch of crap. You're hooked up to you have your heart monitor, right? There's something on this arm. There was an IV in this arm. There was a heart monitor up there. And then eventually they put the Foley in. And then there was something else up there too, I feel like. So, like, I'm just sitting there with all this stuff in me, getting flipped like a hamburger and feeling like a rotisserie chicken because, right? Oh, my goodness. That was a lot. And then the epidural. Y'all seen that needle? That needle is like this long and it's all skinny. And it just, oh, that was terrible. That was the worst experience I have ever had. Now, I will say my nurses, the anesthesiologist came in, the epidural person came, all of them, I know 3 people was in my room. And they were very clear about how that process was going to go. So I will give that person a 10 out of 10 for describing the experience exactly. She described what was going to happen to me to a T. But there's this thing that happens when they hit nerves. Like you like literally hit a nerve, like not figuratively, like that shit that hurts. That doesn't feel good. And I was having a contraction at the same time. Like I waited a little longer to ask for my epidural, and I just know better now. So there's things about hospital life that are freaky, and some of it is not cute. The best advice that we have for that, though, because I don't want to just scare everybody and not give them something to look forward to. The best advice I have about that is to make sure you have good support in the room with you if you can. And that just means somebody. Because the whole time I was crying, I used every cuss word and cussed everybody in that room out when I got my epidural. And that poor man was sitting there holding me. Dad was holding me just like this. Come here. He was like, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm just like I was going off. It hurt so bad. And I was helpless. I didn't want to move because you're not supposed to move while they're giving you an epidural, okay? So for me, like that was the part I was not prepared for. Yeah. I was not prepared for that. And it's like, I don't know if I want one again.
Yeah. I don't never say never, but I don't think I want one. I don't like pain. I know there's pain, contractions, and all that stuff. But
yeah, you think it makes sense?
I don't think it depends on maybe how long I'm in labor next time.
Yeah,
It just sounds painful.
It was not fun.
So did it help?
I will say, so you can't feel anything. So that's one reason why some people don't want to get one, is because they want to be able to feel pushing. But I knew what exercises I was going to use, if that makes sense. I use my yoga ball a lot. So, and then I had them bring it in the hospital. So if you want a yoga ball, ask for a yoga ball. I was bouncing on my yoga ball the minute my water broke, yo. I was like, cool, can I have a ball? And they were like, sure. And then I sat on the ball. I was like, I was just doing my little pelvic thrusts. But those same movements did help me deliver him. And like even the doctor was like, yeah, do that. Come on. And like it was cool. It was really cool how it worked out. So the actual delivery process went quick, and that might have been helpful to not feel things for my first time. It's not really about it doing it naturally or not for me. It's about my convenience and my pain tolerance. Like I can sit through cramps, and labor is not cramps, but it is very similar, right? It's the same feeling is my point. I would rather deal with that and manage my labor. Because I really wanted to sit at home in the tub and like stall it out, honestly. Like I wanted to be that person. But that's not how it went down. So I chose epidural because I was being safe in my head. But it's like, pick your poison. And honestly, like not having control over my body.
Yeah, I don't like that part.
Yeah, no. I think you would feel how I feel for those reasons.
And then I work on a stroke floor, so just any sort of thought of numbness where I can't move my legs.
Yeah, see, like, yeah. And I think people choose things for different reasons.
Yeah. Like I feel like I'm having a stroke.
Yeah, no, it's scary. It's a little scary. Okay. The only other thing I want to talk about real quick is what we put in our hospital bag. It's like a whole topic, right? So I have my hospital bag in the car with me. I kind of remember how I prepared for that. How did you get your hospital bag and what did you have in it?
So I actually didn't make it to the point of even getting my hospital bag. 'Cause I mean that's pretty much something that you kind of do like you can have it ready, but like you don't really think about a hospital bag in like early second trimester, like first
I would not
trimester
have thought
going in.
about a bag in January when I'm supposed to have a baby in April.
You know.
Yeah.
So I had started looking at bags, starting to like watch like videos of what other moms had put in it, and I started, trying to like I was coming up with a mental list. I hadn't even started writing stuff down yet. So yeah. But next time, due to how everything went down this time, I'm probably as soon as my baby is viable and they're like, yo, she can come into this world, I'm gonna have a bag just sitting in the car, and then I'll just update items as I need to. Oh, okay, I don't wear
that's real.
a small anymore. I need some large. Okay, cool. Then that's probably how I'm gonna play that. Because or whoever my situation is at the time.
I kept mine in the coat closet, and I updated it over time. Part of me is just over eager, and that's kind of a trauma response, being hypervigilant. But it worked out for that reason because then I realized I overpacked.
Yeah,
and then I was like,
yeah. So I think that's just what I'm probably gonna do for next time, and that's just what I would advise other moms to do, is because you just never know what can happen. You can even be at work and fall and something happens and you have to get rushed to the ER. So like it'd be cool just to have your bag.
A go bag in general.
Just in case life is lifing for you. Yeah.
So give me like 3 essential things. Like, is there anything that you would have liked to have had with you that you were really upset about not having?
Comfortable clothes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because my mom had to go home and get some stuff for me because I'm like, I don't have anything. Like, so definitely some comfortable clothes. Probably like my own like body wash and like soap and stuff like that. Just the hospital just don't cut it for real. Like,
right.
I just kind of I want to feel like myself as much as possible. I can't really think of any like specific maternity things. So like I said, I really didn't get too much into depth with that to say like I needed this or somebody told me to get that. And then also like just my bonnet, like
my bonnet. No, you
everything.
Know what? That is one thing I didn't pack that I really wish I would have packed.
Yeah,
like a scarf, a bonnet, something. Because I ain't got time for
like
this.
a charger. Like it just was stuff that. It was just I missed the everyday stuff that my mom had to like go home and like
try to figure out which one you wanted, and yeah,
because I was on FaceTime with her, like, no, get the one to the left, and like I need this, and
yeah, no, there is a moment like that in general too. Like he had to, my hospital bag was with me, and he still had to go home because he didn't have clothes. He was wearing construction clothes. He's like, I'm not wearing this.
So wait, dads need a bag too.
No, they really do. That's a valid point. Dads do need a bag. He was pissed. He didn't pack like basketball shorts. He had on construction pants, neon orange shirt, like dirty neon orange shirt, like just
so
real.
Basically, the dads need the typical spend the night bag.
Y'all just need an overnight bag. Yeah,
and then we
charges, slides, socks, drawers, basketball shorts, white beater, and top. That's all y'all need. I mean, yeah, and you're like your overnight essentials.
Spend the night bag.
But like that's a valid point, Chelsea. Like, yeah, dads, if you're watching this, like get a go bag. And like she said, if you need to just update it, don't be the guy that's packing it last minute because you're gonna be pissed. Not us. You're gonna be pissed. You're gonna be mad. He was pissed because he was like taking his little naps. He was like, babe, I'm just gonna go. And I'm like, yeah, go now. Because if you ain't here when the babies start coming, I'm gonna lose my mind. So go. Like, but yeah, I think that's what he was pissed about. He ain't had no basketball shorts.
Yeah.
And then it was funny because then like him and stepdad had to go take the extra car home too. So it was a process. We just had to go home anyway.
So I guess for you then, since you actually had the opportunity to pack a bag, trial and error, what are your top 3 things that you would for sure bring to the next delivery?
It's funny because it's kind of what you said you didn't have.
Okay.
When you said it, I was thinking to myself like what I had
Mm-hmm.
in that place, and I was like, yeah, no, low key, I was really happy I had that. So like comfy clothes, I had these. So people were, I'm not ashamed of what you call that, not hand me downs, but like secondhand clothing. Like I'm not. Everybody know I rape my friends' closets all day. You done with it? My friends, shopaholics, they need reasons to clean up their closets. Like, yes, let me have that. So I took a lot of maternity clothes from people too. And there was this ugly navy blue frock. Okay, this is dress. And it had snaps all the way down the back. It was basically a hospital gown, but it was great. I gave birth. I took off that raggedy gown the first time I took a shower. Oh, that first shower. Oh, that's bliss. Right? And like, I don't even know how different that is for the C-section. But that first shower for just like a regular vaginal delivery, like, even like the toilet situation wasn't even as bad as I thought it was going to be. It is what it is, right? But it was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. But after I took that shower and I put on that, it was like, it's cotton, so it feels familiar, but I'm still like comfortable because like after birth body's just hanging out. Like we just hanging. So that I was very happy I had like random crap like that. Like and it had like a little snap down here, so if I breastfed on each side, like it was really made for maternity. It was dope. I don't remember who gave me that either, but like that particular garment is what I'm happy about. Because like sweatpants and whatever, but that was particular to birth. I really appreciate. So my son's godmother got me the Honest Brands. It's this little. It looks like travel size, like a travel size like skincare kit.
Okay.
It has face wash. And it's like mommy like fied. It says mommy's glow, whatever. Like it's real cute. Chelsea would really like it, so I'm bringing it up. It comes in a little pouch, like its own pouch. It has facial wash. It has like moisturizer. It's also low key like body cream. So if you want to do like this situation, it had some postpartum spray. It has something else in it, but I specifically remember the face wash because I was like, yeah, I would like to not look like I just gave birth, if that's okay. I'm not saying I need to look like Halle Berry, but can I at least not look like death? And that was really nice to like just wash my face. And I had my travel size Olay. Like this, it was literally like a hotel experience, except I gave birth.
Nice.
I really appreciated that. So like the postpartum care packages I got from people, that like when we were talking about things that you should get, like gifts and how we can support, that was a huge part for me. I was like, ain't nobody gave me nothing for my cooch. Don't nobody care about my recovery. Don't nobody love me. Like, and they understood the assignment. Anna sent me a care package with like some fig bars and a candle and like just some smell goods. And I used the smell good body butter. It's the little things that make you just feel a little bit better.
Make you feel seen.
Yeah, like just like, yes, I'm still a woman. I'm hella a woman. I would like to smell good, damn it. Like, so yeah, I like anything you would take to a hotel room for your essentials. I think like a dress or some sort of comfortable nightgown is a good must. And then if chargers, make sure you have all your chargers. That's all it really was for me. I played music. We watched TV together. We played games. It really wasn't even like that deep for me. I think I packed like tux pads and all that stuff. You don't need to pack that. Save space because you want to take home all the diapers and the Vaseline and the extra tux pads that they give you. Take all the shit from the hospital home. Okay?
It's funny. Sorry, you just made my mind think of this. When I was like, we didn't have to buy diapers for like, I just had to buy diapers for the first time. She was born in January. I think I bought diapers in March of 2025. But it was actually funny. I was like, well, shoot, the NICU stay, I did pay for 2 months of diapers, technically speaking, with my NICU stay.
You
So I guess
did.
I did buy some diapers early
That's
on.
wild. We just now run. I'm on my last bottle of laundry detergent. The big bulky ones, y'all. That's the hack too. Just buy the laundry detergent. I got like 6 Drift, like supersized ones, and we're on the last one. And I'm on like we got 2 full boxes of wipes left.
Nice.
Like those are things that really, really help, guys. Like if you can't think of nothing else, take care of the mom postpartum for the hospital, contribute to her hospital bag or for her like care package when she gets home, or stock them up. Take something off the to-do list though, because labor is
It's hard enough.
it's labor. Anywho, you come up with the comment thingy today. What should we drop
I guess
in comments?
maybe put in the comments what you guys found helpful for your to-go bag that you had ready for your hospital stay. Anything that we missed that you were like, this was helpful, or like, oh, I like that you brought that up. Like she said, the whole bonnet thing. Like I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that would have been cool because it's not even about looking cute. It was just like, y'all know how that goes. It's all over the place.
Yeah, so drop your comments. Let us know what you had in your bag, or maybe what you'll put in there next time that you found through research, and let us know.
And if you're pregnant, put what you think you're going to want in your hospital bag the most. What do you think you won't be able to live without? Thanks for joining us again for another postpartum discussion. We will be back like clockwork next week on Tuesday. We'll see you then, guys.
See you later.